Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston, and today I'm back for episode number 57 of my Pittsburgh Pirates franchise series here on MLB 17, the show. So we've wrapped up the regular season for year number 7, and I've decided that this will be the final season I'm going to record for this franchise. Interest has definitely dwindled. I think people are probably not... the consensus is that the series is not as interesting as it was when I didn't have such a stacked team. For me, I guess it is fun to just continue to see how good I can make this team, but I can understand from a viewer standpoint finding this kind of boring. Trust me, I do understand. So this will be the last season I record, and then I'm going to focus on other stuff for the channel, especially Madden content when that comes out. But taking a look at the league leaders, Trout led the league in hitting. Let's just go to... I really only care about the batting WAR and pitching WAR. So you see Sanchez had a 10-win season. He had a monster year, 38 home runs, hit 314. The OPS was at 1028. And then Trout, 7.6, and Lindor, 7.5. Marte had a good year with the 828 OPS. Anyone else? Vina, 4-win season. A lot of people were telling me I should trade Vina because the game overvalues him a little bit. Rubio finished with almost a 4-win year. And I mean, the ratings, I don't know what it is about this game. It always makes the second baseman a higher rating than like what they really play to. But even though he's a little bit overvalued, the fact that I drafted and developed Vina makes me, although now his potential is down to a B and he's down to a 90 overall, it's kind of disappointing. But still, you know, he was pretty much like the first player we drafted, and even for that reason alone, I lean towards wanting to keep him. Awards. Got a Silver Slugger. We won the MVP with Jacob deGrom and the Hank Aaron Award, the Cy Young. So pretty cool stuff. deGrom, that's 2.20 ERA. He had a monster year, but pretty cool when a pitcher wins MVP. Batting title, of course, Trout. And we won a handful of other awards. Let's take a look at the player stats for our team. We'll go by WAR to start and just look at the OPSs for these guys. Rubio, Gillespie ended up finishing out the year strong for us. Esposito had a really down year. That's interesting. Only 24, so not like he's on the decline or anything, but interesting to see him struggle so much this year. Agerman looked really good after we called him up. Kind of a down year out of Guerrero. Frazier was okay. Bench was alright. I won't say down year out of Guerrero. He did have 10 home runs and almost 200 at-bats, so it's not too bad. Pitchers, though, we had a great years from a lot of different guys. deGrom, Keller had a sub-3 ERA. Alvarez got hot towards the end of the year. Tanaka finished with good numbers once again. Even Gutierrez pitched pretty well. He went 12-2. Made, 18 starts, I think? 22 starts. He ended up pitching a good portion of the season for us in that rotation. In for Tyler Skaggs and ended up with a 3.57 ERA. Boyce got his ERA down to 3.2 before the end of the year. Osuna, his is still up there in the 4s, but Britton finished the year well for us. Finished the year strong, I should say. And I want to see what the WARs were for... Yeah, deGrom was 5.8 wins. I mean, I think Sanchez should have been MVP, but... So let's take one final look at the lineups. I'm going to be doing the quick manage feature for all games in this postseason. I'm not going to be playing any games. Just going to be all exclusively quick managed. So I'm going to keep Esposito relatively high in the lineup, though, but I'll move him behind Gillespie. Don't want to move him around too much, though. We're going to face the wildcard team, and it's going to be the Giants. So we won 116 games this year. That ties the all-time wins record. The best winning percentage came from the 1906 Cubs. They won 116 games and only lost 36, but we tied them for wins, just had more games to do it. And the Mariners also won 116 games in 2001. The Gigantes were 87-75 this year. They defeated the Mets in the wild card round. They're the 5th ranked team, so apparently not too shabby of a group still. And a team we played in the postseason before. They've got Bumgarner, Wilson Contreras, Michael Chavez, who's one of the best young players in the league, Joey Gallo, Brandon Belt, Davinsky, who they signed a couple years ago. He's been really good for them. Matt Moore, Tehran in their rotation. We traded them Richard Springer. They have Christian Arroyo. They have Kyle Seager. We traded them Kyle Seager as well. Chris Stratton, Scott Schebler, so some pretty decent pieces. Posey's 36 now, certainly on the decline. Hasn't been great the last couple of years, last handful of years really. And our playoff rotation is going to go DeGrom, Tanaka, Alvarez, and then Keller, I think. And we'll use Gutierrez out of the bullpen along with Elez, who pitched decently out of the bullpen for us in 12 appearances. And our bullpen, I think, even though Vieira kind of struggled towards the end of the year, I think our bullpen can still be a strength for us in this postseason. Campos had another good year. I'm still going to lean on guys like Boyce and Osuna despite down years from them. Segrist had another good year. And Britton, of course. We'll see how he does for us. But here we go. Game number 1. Let's quick manage. And, of course, yeah, this was that. We made that big trade with them for Britton. And we gave up Seager in that trade. So kind of an interesting matchup to see come to fruition in the postseason. But, alright, so I'm gonna hit Gillespie 5th ahead of Esposito. We'll see if that helps out the lineup. But here we go. Game number 1. DeGrom on the mound against Tehran. And we get 4 runs in the first. Take a 4-1 lead, but DeGrom also struggling. San Francisco gets 4 runs in the second, so it's 5-4. And we will see if DeGrom can settle in a little bit. It's a lead-out double from Esposito, and an RBI single from Vigna ties the game at 5. Then a pop-out, so runner on first. DeGrom is through 4 innings so far. I think I'm going to pinch hit for him right here. A little bit early, being pretty aggressive in doing this, but let's go with Ackerman. He hit the ball really well towards the end of the year. He flies out there. Marte grounds out. So pitching change time. We're going to go with... Let's go with... Oh, I could go with Quinn Gutierrez for multiple innings. I kind of want to do that. Let's see what he can do. Gives up back-to-back singles. Now 3 straight singles. Oh my goodness. All right. Gutierrez was not the play, clearly. Let's try Campos. Try and get us out of this inning. And he does. Now, see if we can retaliate, but nope. Campos, do we leave him in for another inning, perhaps? Now, let's try... We'll go with another 1-inning guy. We'll go with Vieira this time, see what he can do. And gives up 2 2-out singles. Now 3 2-out singles. Gives up another run. He's not going well for us right now. Not getting anything going on offense. I'm going to go to another man. Let's go with Segrist for an inning. Alright, now we have a man on, and Segrist is spot 2 up, so we're going to pinch it with Frazier. I could go with Valenzuela, but I'm going to go with Frazier. He sacked... What? Why? Oh my god, why did we bunt there? Alright, still a 2-run game. Let's go to Boyce. See what he can do. Gives us a clean inning there. Davinsky on for the Giants, but we're still trailing by 3 runs heading into the 9th. Gonna go with another pitching change, Osuna. He retires the side in order. Last chance for us in the bottom half of the 9th. Esposito facing their closer, Springer. Apparently Springer is their new closer. And now we have a man on with 2 out for the pitcher. Oh, there we go. Here we go. It's gonna be Valenzuela, who pinch hits for Rubio with 2 outs. Reaches on an error, so 2 men are on, including the tying run. Or no, what am I saying? The tying run is up at the plate now in Marte. 2 men have reached against Springer. He reaches on an error. Back-to-back errors. And Lindor will have a chance this inning. He's 0 for 4 tonight. He walks. A run scores. The tying run is into scoring position now for Trout. And what can Trout do? Will he come through in the big spots? They're going to make a pitching change and go to Will Smith. And he is retired. So that ends off the ball game. We lose game 1, 8-6. Game 2, now we'll have to bounce back with Masahiro Tanaka on the mound, facing off against Matt Moore. And we're going to stick with the same lineup. I do believe we got a lefty on the mound for them this game. That's going to play into the hands of our lineup. Strength is definitely against lefties. Just looking up and down, we have lots of right-handed hitters in the lineup. So, alright, we'll see if we can pitch a little bit better today. That was certainly our problem yesterday. DeGrom did not pitch too well. Hoping for a better start out of Tanaka, who surrenders 3 runs in the 3rd. And just like that, we are down 3-1. Now 3-2. We'll be careful with Tanaka here. Gives up a double to Schebler, strikes out Contreras, and gets Taylor to pop out. Now Moore dealing with 2-3-4. Gets a double play. Tanaka retires the side in order. I'll probably take Tanaka out next time he comes up to bat. As we are facing Cole Ragans now for the Giants. Now Hunter Strickland facing Vigna with a man on. That's 2 outs. Rubio, he doubles home a run, and we tie the game up. Now I'm going to pinch hit for Tanaka with Ernesto Valenzuela. in hopes of getting a base hit here, but he grounds out. So we go to the bullpen here for the 7th with the game tied. I'm going to turn it over to Barrett Boyce. And Boyce walks Gallo, but retires everyone else. That is a clean 7th from Boyce. On to the bottom half of the 7th now. Strickland's still out there for San Francisco. And he fires a clean 7th. So on to the 8th. We're going to go with Campos for an inning. He walks the leadoff man Contreras. Now dealing with Seager, who's pinch hitting. He flies out. Joey Rickard. He's taking Contreras steals with Rickard at the dish. Now Rickard walks. So 2 on for pinch hitter Buster Posey. He strikes out. Chavez a chance now with 2 down. And he grounds out. That will send us to the bottom of the 8th. Still tied at 3. Jose Flores on for San Francisco now. And they bring someone into center field to replace Seager, I would presume. It is Esposito walking with 1 out. Now Vigna single, so 2 men on with 1 man down for Carlos Rubio. And he grounds into an inning-ending double play. That is a killer. So I think I'm going to maybe double switch. Can I double switch from this screen? I'm not sure how to do it. You see, I want to double switch Britton in so that I could potentially use him for multiple innings, because his spot leads off the bottom of the 9th no matter what. But I don't know if I can double switch from this screen. So I'm just going to try and put him in, I guess. Yeah, it didn't give me the option. So, oh well, that is unfortunate, but hopefully he can fire a scoreless 9th. Gives up a 1-out double to Joey Gallo. Now dealing with a couple lefties here, Belt and Schebler. Gets Belt to strike out. 2 down for Schebler, and he flies out. So we head to the 9th. Now I'm going to pinch hit for Britton with Ackerman. And we are facing Jose Flores still. Ackerman works a leadoff walk. He's got decent speed. Marte up next. He grounds into a fielder's choice. Marte with better speed now on first with 1 out. Lindor singles, so 2 men on for Trout. Trout flies out, but Marte does get up to third. 2 down for Gary Sanchez, and Sanchez flies out. So this game will head to extra. Sanchez has not had a good postseason, just 1 for 9 now. And I'm going to go to Osuna here in the 10th. Gives up a 1-out double to Aaron Hicks. Next man walk, so 2 on for the pinch hitter Ryan Healy. He grounds into the inning-ending double play. Big double play ball there induced by Osuna. Now 5-6-7 due up in the 10th for Pittsburgh facing Will Smith. And he strikes out 3 straight batters. Now, do we bring in someone for Osuna, or do we let him go for another inning perhaps? Because things are getting pretty tight towards the end of our bullpen. But he does pitch a 2nd straight scoreless inning, despite having worked an inning yesterday. He's going to be pinch hit for this inning with Rico Guerrero. Did hit 10 home runs this year off the bench, but he flies out there. Marte now singling with 2 outs. I'm going to try and steal second. He steals, so the man is in a scoring position with 2 down, but Lindor grounds out. So we are going to turn the game over to, I think, Seagrass now. See if he can get a couple of these lefties out. And he does just that, a scoreless 12th, I should say. So on to the bottom of the 12th, Trout leading things off. He will face Chris Davinsky. We get a 1-out single from Sanchez. And a walk from Esposito. So 2 on, 2 down for Vigna. And he hits a walk-off 3-run home run, and the series is tied. Just like that. A walk-off 3-run blast from Diego Vigna. And we send the series to San Francisco, knotted up at 1 game apiece. Finally, that game is ended in 12 innings. A blast from Vigna sends the home fans home happy. And here we go now. Henry Alvarez on the mound for Game 3, facing off against their ace, Madison Bumgarner, who won the wild card game. He went 7 innings, gave up 1 run in that outing. And now he is going to have another tough test, another lefty for this lineup of righties here from Pittsburgh. So we'll see if we can take advantage. We didn't really do it against Moore, who pitched okay last game. But here we go, a battle of southpaws here today, Alvarez and Bumgarner. And we were scoreless. Now it's 1-0 San Francisco. We tie the game up at 1 in the 4th. Now trying to drain Bumgarner's energy quickly here. It looks like it's pretty low. So this could be his last inning. Let's see. It is. He's out after 5. So Cole Raggins is on now. Leadoff single for Rubio. Let's, I'm going to let Alvarez swing away. No, okay, sack bunted. Marte grounds out, and another ground out from Lindor. So we head to the bottom of the 6th, still tied. Alvarez cruising now. Raggins still out there for San Francisco, and he gives up a double there to Gillespie, so 2 on. Two in scoring position for Esposito with 1 out. He walks. Vina now with the bases loaded, lines out. Rubio walks home the go-ahead run. And now this is a big spot, but I'm going to leave Alvarez in there. Yeah, I'm going to leave him in there, even though, yeah, he's going to make the out. I have to leave him in because he could definitely, and he just gives back the lead. Dang it. Well, he was still pitching well. And he is going to, hopefully he gets through the 7th. Okay, so does get through the 7th. Only he's given up 2 runs so far. Game is tied at 2 once again, though. Jose Flores back out for the Giants. He has thrown 3 scoreless this postseason, but he gives up a leadoff double to Marte. And then Marte scored. No, he's thrown out at the plate. Lindor singled, but Marte was gunned out, and the game remains tied. Now 2 down for Sanchez. He singles. Keeps the inning alive. Gillespie's turn. He strikes out. So we head to the 8th. Alvarez dealing with Contreras, and then has a couple lefties. I think I'm going to leave him in and try to get him through a couple of these lefties. Strikes out Contreras. Gives up a single to Gallo. Now Belts. And wow, Gallo is picked off. 2 down. Belts' turn. He pops out. And that sends this game to the 9th. So if Alvarez's spot in the lineup comes up, I'm going to pinch hit for him, I think. And it is a double for Vina. And then a walk for Rubio. So 2 on with 1 out. And just like that, Alvarez's spot is up. So I'm going to turn to Ackerman and look for a big hit here out of the man we acquired from the Mets at the deadline. He walks, so the bases will be loaded for Marte. And they're going to bring on Hunter Strickland to try and keep the game tied and get the Giants out of this jam. Marte, can he get home the go-ahead run? Yes, he does on the sacrifice fly. That scores Vina. We take a 3-2 lead. Now 2 down for Lindor. He grounds out, but we do take a 1-run lead heading to the 9th. And I'm going to turn the game over to... The question is, do I go to Britton or Boyce? We've got a righty. I think I'm going to go to Britton just since he's a little bit more well-rested. Does give up a walk to the lefty Schebler. And now it's Hicks pinch running with Rickard at the dish. But Rickard grounds into a double play, and the Pirates win Game 3. They take a 2-1 series lead. Gillespie with the big day. Had 4 hits, including a home run and a double. And now we are 1 game away from advancing to the championship series for the 7th straight year. And I was informed of in the comments section of last year's playoff video that the record for consecutive championship series appearances is the Braves in the 90s. Went to 8 straight, and that was right in the middle of when they... pretty much right in the middle of that streak is when they introduced a wild card in 1995. So sort of a half counts and half doesn't, I guess you could say. Ours is maybe arguably more impressive because we've had to win the division series each year, but of course that is not a done deal quite yet. We could go to DeGrom on full rest here apparently, but I think I'm going to let Keller pitch because DeGrom got rocked in Game 1, and Keller had a phenomenal year for us, so I want to give him a chance. We're facing a righty now, this time in Tyler Beede. But here we go. Let's see if we can close out the series in San Francisco. I think this is the first time we've jumped out to the lead. Actually, no, we had the lead in Game 1, but then they quickly made it 4-1. So now we have a 4-0 lead. We'll see if Keller can protect this lead for us. Just try to throw some strikes, eat some innings. Now it's 6-0. We've opened the gap even more. And Keller is cruising so far. 8-0 now. And this looks all but over here for San Francisco. I don't think they're going to come back from this one. 9-1. Top of the lineup, so let's get Keller out of there. We will turn the game over to Barrett Boyce. He'll go a half inning. Now we're going to pitch it for him, even though kind of just micromanaging at this point. Alright, 9-1 still, pitching change. Britton's turn to try and close it out against his old team. And he does just that, and the Pirates are moving on. They will be taking on the Dodgers in the National League Championship Series, as it is the Dodgers that defeated, who was it that they defeated? They took on Washington and beat them in 4 games, so that is going to be the matchup. LA and Pittsburgh for the 3rd straight year. 2 years ago it was in the championship series that we were defeated 4-2. Last year we defeated them 3-1 in the division series and we're to our 2nd World Series championship. And this year we will try to avenge our defeat 2 years ago in the championship series and try to get back to that World Series. So that is going to do it. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'm out.